So, as we kind of start to wrap this up, going back to your hometown for a minute, you were there most of your life. So you obviously weren't, maybe you were writing songs, but you weren't that guy that we know now.
No, back then, I mean, music was about just sort of something that sounded cool, and your band had to look cool, and it was more about the vibe than what was actually inside the song itself. And you come to Nashville and you realize, I mean, I literally didn't realize that you could just strip it down to a guitar and a voice. Maybe the songwriter can't even sing that well, but you strip it down to a guitar and an honest voice, whether it's a great voice or not, and the song can be so good that it stands up even under those conditions. Then you realize, oh, there's this whole thing that you've been missing called the song that's within the performer, but within the performer's image and sound, you have the song. And that's where Nashville style songwriting comes in, and it's the best in the world, really. And so yeah, when you're back home, before you move here, you don't realize about the song. You songwrite, but you don't consider that the most important element. You consider the quality of the musicianship and the look of the band to be more important than the song. And then when you get to Nashville, you realize it's much more about the song. Just to those who want to, whereas country is an all-inclusive folk type music. You know, it's all about the lyric and being something that people can relate to. And that's something that hasn't changed with country, even as the sound of what we call country music changes towards more of a pop and a rock sound. The thing that stays the same is that the songwriting craft is still about a lyric you can understand and relate to. That still rings true in country music.
You know, a lot of folks think of the songwriter or the person that winds up in Nashville doing what you do, that they've been a waiter, a server, they've done something where, and you do, that is really very much the case in Nashville.
Yeah.
I know you kind of, you have a much different background than that, and maybe you've done some of that as well.
I've done a little of that.
But you have some interesting things in your background. Can you tell us some of your experiences in your jobs
Well,
in Las Vegas?
before I moved here, I was a stunt horseman / actor in a dinner theater show at a major hotel casino on the Las Vegas Strip for 5 or 6 years, and I made my sole paycheck riding horses and doing stunts on them. And it was a medieval themed show, and it was called Tournament of Kings. It's still there at the Excalibur. It's still doing great. And twice a night, 6 or 7 days a week, 6 or 7 nights a week, I'd have to fall off a perfectly good running horse, get jousted off, be a knight in shining armor, and then, hey, I'll meet you at the bar after work. So yeah, I had that in my background in addition to music. Once I moved to Nashville, I made part of my living by being a sound engineer in the recording studio business, and so I only waited tables, so to speak, part-time once I got to Nashville. But I certainly did all that. I was a valet. I was a cashier at a grocery store in the side of town where all the celebrities live, and so a lot of them came through my line. The first several months I was in town, and it was very frustrating to be on the wrong side of the counter, and you just want to leap across the counter and say, "Hey, I can do what you're doing," but it's just not. You have to sit and wait your turn. And it having been. Having made my sole paycheck for 5 or 6 years riding horses and doing athletic type things, that has been a rough adjustment to move here and basically be sort of less physically active and not being about something as Western as riding horses, and being more about sitting behind a computer and recording music and sitting behind a desk and writing a song. And you do lose a little bit of perspective by honing your craft. So I think it's important to do things like what I did, which is just get get to the other side of the country for a month or so and just go about it a different way, and hike and camp and 4x4 and eat heated up cowboy beans and be under a blanket of stars instead of a blanket of clouds, and see some wide open spaces and just clear your head a little bit. And that's what I did when I was out there this last time. So yeah, I've done all those, but I've done all those jobs and then some. You know, that's a joke. Like every time you hear a hit song on country radio, Nashville just lost another waiter.
Yeah, exactly. There's a job opening somewhere.
There is, yeah.
Well, good deal, man. I appreciate your time with us.
It's good to be here.
Look
Thanks for
forward
having me.
to seeing and hearing a little more from you in the
Yeah,
future.
you can count on it.
All right. Well, thanks very much, Garrett.
I appreciate it very
All right.
much. Thank you.